I drove a taxi for almost 5 years, mostly night shifts. The pay was better after midnight, and the city felt calmer. Less traffic, fewer distractions. But there was one night I still can't explain, no matter how many times I replay it in my head. It happened in the winter of 2018. That night was unusually quiet. The streets were wrapped in thick fog, and even the streetlights looked dim, as if the city itself was trying to hide. Around 2:40 a.m., my radio crackled with a request. Pickup location, Old River Road. I hesitated. Old River Road was infamous among taxi drivers. No shops, no houses, just an abandoned stretch near a dried-up canal. Drivers often joked about it being haunted, but none of us actually liked going there. Still, a ride was a ride, and I needed the money. I accepted. When I reached the location, my headlights cut through the fog and revealed a single figure standing near the road. A man, tall, thin, wearing a long dark coat. His face was hidden under the shadow of a hood. I rolled down the window slightly. "Taxi?" I asked. He nodded slowly and opened the back door. The moment he sat down, an icy chill filled the car, as if someone had opened a freezer behind me. I checked the mirror. His face was pale, unnaturally pale, and his eyes were fixed straight ahead. "Where to?" I asked. "Central Station," he replied in a low, hollow voice. I started driving. The ride was silent. No phone, no movement, just the sound of tires against the road and my own heartbeat growing louder with every mile. At one point, I glanced in the rearview mirror again and froze. His reflection didn't match his movements. He was sitting still, but in the mirror his head was slightly tilted, as if watching me. I swallowed hard and focused on the road. Halfway through the journey, the temperature dropped again. My breath became visible. I turned the heater to full, but nothing changed. Then he spoke. "You don't usually take this road," he said. I forced a laugh. GPS suggested it. Another pause. "I died on this road," he continued calmly. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. "That's not funny," I said. He leaned forward slightly. I could feel his presence just inches behind me. 3 years ago, he whispered, "A taxi just like this. A driver just like you." He never saw the truck. My heart began to race. I remembered something then, a new story. A taxi crash near Old River Road. The driver survived. The passenger didn't. I checked the mirror again. The back seat was empty. I slammed the brakes. The car screeched to a halt in the middle of the road. I turned around fully. No one was there. The door hadn't opened. There was no sound of footsteps, just fog pressing against the windows. Shaking, I looked at the meter. The ride was still running. Suddenly, my radio turned on by itself. Static, then a voice. "Trip completed." At that exact moment, the back door opened on its own. I screamed and floored the accelerator, not stopping until I reached a crowded area near Central Station. I jumped out of the car, gasping for air. When I finally looked back inside, the seat was empty, but something lay on the floor. A wet footprint. Only one. The next morning, I went to the taxi office to report the incident. The manager listened silently, then pulled out an old file. Inside was a photo from 3 years ago. The passenger who died that night wore a long dark coat. Since then, I only drive during the day, and I never accept rides from Old River Road.